Hello developers, welcome back to OctaCoder. We are building the Octa Travel app and we are almost 90% done. In our previous sessions, we covered essential concepts like lifting up state, dynamically generating form options and rendering data onto the UI. If you are not caught up, I highly recommend checking out our previous session. The links are in the description below. Today, we are diving into sorting items. Imagine you have a long list of travel items and some are already packed while others aren't. We want to make it easier to see what still needs packing by sorting the list based on packed and unpacked items. This way, you'll have a clearer view of your travel checklist. So without further ado, let's get started. Alright, let's jump into the code. So here's our app file with all the code we have written step by step in previous sessions. Okay, so now we want to sort items. So for that, let's quickly create a div here in the packing list. And here we will have select element. And this select element as well as we need the options element, right? Which should have different values. So later, based on these values, here we will calculate the order list. So the first one is sort by input order. So by the order in which these items were actually placed into the list. Next, sort by description. Basically alphabetically sort. Okay. Finally, let's sort by pack status. Okay. Give it a save and there it is. Looks great. So inside our React application, what the currently selected element here is, and so for that we will once again transform this here into a controlled element. So for that we need our 3 steps. So first of all, we create a new piece of state. Let's call this one sort by and set sort by and use state by default sorted by input. Okay, this input here is exactly this string that we define here, but it could be description or packed. And here in select element, let's use that state as the value sort by, and up here I use input. So as you see here, we now have by default sort by input order. You can use pack, then we should already see that reflected in the UI. You can see here, we now have by default sort by pack status, because we're using pack string, right? Now here, whatever the user selected there, so we need to handle the onChange event. So onChange, and this function will automatically receive the event, and then we can set sort by using e.target.value to update set sort by. Okay, so now you can check in the developer tools that it's working properly or not. Okay, always check in the dev tools. Here in the packing list component and here hook state. When you change the state, it will change, and yes, it working perfectly. Great. So now whenever the user selects an options here, we will get sorted items based on the selected criteria. So now we will use again derived state. We will simply create a new variable, actually a let variable, so sorted items. Now we can simply do a couple of simple if statements. So if sort by equals to input, then this is the default, right? Then in this case, we can simply sorted items are just equal to the items themselves. So the ones that receive as a prop here. So now we need to use these sorted items, and that's right here. So from now on, instead of rendering the original items array, we will render the sorted items. Okay, save it. Let's add some items, and these are by default sorted items. Okay, and as soon as I change these, then we get an error because sorted item is the then just empty variable that React doesn't know how to render. So if sort by description, then we will want to sort our item. So sorted items will then become items. And now first we use slice method, because with this we basically take a copy of the array. It's very important because the sort method is mutating method. So use slice.sort. So we can use the local compare method. So we want to take a which is basically one object, and then description, which is one of the properties of each object. And then this is a string we can call local compare, and then here we can pass another string which is b description. Alright, and finally let's also add the code for our last case, which is by pack. So sorted items is going to be equal to items, taking a copy dot sort, then a and b, which are basically two objects of the array which are being compared. And then since we want to order by the pack status, which is boolean, we need to first convert that to a number. So a dot pack minus number b dot pack, and that's it. Give it a save. Let's try this out. I hope so it works fine. So let's add some items. So let's select sort by description, and it's sorted by description. You can see that now it's alphabetically sorted. Okay, then finally by the pack status. So right now all of them are unpacked. So let's click and you see that then it's moves to the end, and same thing right here. Then if I remove it, it will move back here. Great. And of course we also have our default, which is the input order, which is also the same that happens whenever we are in the pack status, and we have none of them packed in. Great. We just implement these simple features simply by using the power of derived state. I hope you have learned. So that's it for today's tutorial. If you found this helpful, please give it a like, share and subscribe to the channel. Happy coding. Thank you for watching.